If you guys are looking to bring your photography to the next level, whether that be with an iPhone or a DSLR like the one I'm currently shooting on, you might want to watch this video because we're going over 5 tips that have personally helped me develop the photography game that I have today. So let's get right into it. So guys, for tip number 1, I have as angles, which has really helped me up my game in photography because I was really just a straight point and shoot person. I never really thought about which angle would be the best way to make what look good. So my best advice for you guys would be to, next time you have a subject, move to the right, move to the left, maybe get above angle, maybe go below it if you can. Depending on what you are shooting, it will really drastically help you if you change the angle, like in a portrait or in some landscapes. It really helps. So that's my best advice for you for number 1 as our first tip, which is angle. So let's get right into tip number 2. Coming in at tip number 2, guys, is lighting. Lighting is a big part in photography. It can make and break your photo. If you overexpose your photo, it is bad. If you underexpose your photo, it is bad. You need to get the middle perfect exposure you can out of camera so it can make your post-production a lot easier. If you are having trouble finding the best lighting, I recommend moving around in the scene or the shot, or just trying to get around the subject still, but finding the best lighting is the number 1 priority when you are shooting anything. Natural lighting is probably the best. Direct lighting kind of sucks, so get an ND or a polarizer ND. Those can really help bring down the exposure in direct light. Cloudy days are pretty good. I would still recommend a polarizer in my experience. When you're inside, there is a lot of things that you can use for artificial lighting. There's light bulbs, there's box lights, there's LED panels, there's little cubes that have LEDs attached to it. There's a bunch of stuff. So just depending on what you're shooting, you need to find the best lighting possible to help bring your photography game up a lot. That's all I got for you guys on lighting, and I will see you guys when we talk about tip number 3. Coming in at tip number 3, guys, is composition. For those of you who are beginning in your journey of photography or just getting into it, for beginners, even amateurs, or sometimes even professionals, they forget this rule, which is composition. Composition can really help improve your subject placement or anything else like that. The rule of thirds, where you are sitting, so it would be probably about right here. It's called the rule of thirds. You're going to be putting your subject on any 1/3 in the photo or in the frame on either side. So it could be over here, it could be up here, it could be on the top, it can be on the bottom. Just 1/3 into the photo. But that is one that really helped me out improve in photography, videography, everything. So that is a really good rule to follow by. Another one is rule of simplicity, which is when you keep your background kind of simple so that your subject really pops. There's not really anything too distracting in the background. Rule of space is a good one. There's a bunch of rules and stuff like that. So my biggest tip, my 3 top ones to focus on next time you go shooting, is rule of thirds, is rule of simplicity. Make sure your background and everything around your subject is very non-distracting so that your viewers or your watchers or whoever is looking at what you make can really understand and really know what the subject is in your photo or video. Rule of space is really a good one, when you can give your subject enough room around it where space is needed. Stuff like that can really improve your photography and take it up a lot. And yeah, so I'll see you guys for tip number 4. Coming in at number 4, guys, is framing. Framing is when you surround your subject with a certain thing to make it pop. That can be anything, literally. If you take someone out into the forest or in the woods, you can frame them in between 2 trees, position them in between them, and then take a picture, and it'll really help when there's not one behind them. That's another tip that I figured out in portrait photography. Don't have any trees behind them. But anyway, when you frame, framing doesn't have to be only in portrait photography. Framing can be in landscapes. You can put a mountain in between a bush, in between 2 trees, in between anything, literally. So next time you guys go shooting, try to frame your subject. It'll really draw your viewers' attention towards the subject and what you're trying to tell them, and it will really help you out in the long run. So I'll see you guys in a little bit for tip number 5. So guys, before we get started with tip number 5, I am gonna do a question of the day, and the question of the day is, what is your favorite type of photography that you do, whether that's landscape, portrait, anything, literally anything, macro shots, flower shots, anything. Just leave it down in the comments below, and I will see you guys for tip number 5. Coming in at tip number 5, I have for you guys the final tip in this video. I really hope all of these tips have really helped you out, but for tip number 5, it is going to be having subjects. Very simple, I know, but you will be surprised at how many people forget to add subjects in their photo. Like myself, I used to do that a lot, and ever since I've added subjects, it helps me tell a story, helps me draw my viewers' attention to what I am trying to show them. So yeah, having a subject can really help tell a story or guide your viewers to what you're trying to tell them or show them. Stuff like that can really improve your photography. So yeah, those are my 5 tips that I have for you guys today. If you guys want to see another tip video or tutorial on how I edit or stuff like that, leave a like and comment what you guys want to see next. Also, don't forget about the question of the day. What type of photography do you prefer to shoot? I don't believe that was the exact question, but I don't really remember it. I know it was that subject. So leave it down in the comments below. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next one later.